I'm Peter C. Hayward, and I went frame by frame through the entire film to bring you every single Easter egg in The Incredibles. John Ratzenberger is the voice of the Underminer. This opening flicker reads, The Incredibles, a Pixar production. The map of Municeburg shows Point Richmond, the original home of Pixar, as well as a bunch of streets that are local to the new studio. Mr. Incredible calls Incrediboy Brody, a reference to Jason Lee's first starring role, Brody from Mallrats. For one frame before it crashes, we can see the train has an ad for Hats by Home. This courtroom sketch was drawn by Peter Son, who went on to direct several Pixar films. This paper warns of Tropical Storm Andrews. Dash's principal is named John Walker, and Bob is chewed out for the Walker policy. This shot has a hat trick of Pixar references. They're parked outside Luxo Deli, named for the short Luxo Jr. It's right over the road from Andy's, a reference to Toy Story, and we can see a neon sign for Blort Soda, first seen in Monsters Inc. Just like Mike Wazowski, Mr. Incredible has a post-it note that reads, Don't forget to file your paperwork. This newspaper reads, Catastrophe scene as crisis looms, which has some animation history. Brad Bird used a variation in his previous film, The Iron Giant, which in turn was a reference to this headline in Lady and the Tramp, and before that it appeared in Fun and Fancy Free. This insurance form contains the text that can be found on all Monsters Inc. scare reports. In Mr. Incredible's memorabilia room, we can see the Rock'em Sock'em robots that were voiced by the directors in Toy Story 2. There's also a photo of Mr. Incredible holding up a shark, Bruce from Finding Nemo. Edna Mode is voiced by Brad Bird. These cars have license plates LR415, AL410, GK1126, and PT37. Lou Romano's birthday is the 15th of April, so it seems likely that Glenn Kim's is the 26th of November, Paul Topolis's is the 7th of March, and Albert Lozano's is the 10th of April. Albert Lozano is the man who every scare report in Monsters Inc. was about, and Glenn Kim is such an infamous troublemaker, there's a rule about never trusting him on the wall near Ross's office. The police car's license plate reads KR54. According to the Disney Wiki, Corey Ray was born on the 1st of January 1953, which means when the film came out, she would have been 51. One of the books on The Incredibles' nightstand is Capel's Guide to Engineering. Also in the bedroom are tins of Gordon's Black. In this photo, Mr. Incredible's shirt is Monsters Inc. inspired, and Mrs. Incredibles has the characters from Nemo on it. Mr. Incredible spends time in
room A113
and cell A113, a reference to the classroom where the director studied. This was Brad Bird's first Pixar film, but he was actually the person who started the trend, first referencing A113 in an episode of Amazing Stories back in 1987. The hangar they steal the van from is A13. In downtown Municeburg, we see Imageco, Glenn's Towers, the Hendrickson Tower, Arriaga & Co., Lozano Records, and Bradley Hotel. Doc Hudson appears in the background of the fight scene. Cars wouldn't be released for another 18 months. Mrs. Incredible's call sign is
Chindia Golf 909 checking in.
The Iron Giant was released in 1999. There's also a cameo from Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnston, who at the time were the last two surviving members of Disney's 9 Old Men. Men who were hired by Walt Disney in the 1920s and worked on the majority of animated films made during his lifetime. Frank and Ollie were Brad Bird's mentors, and he also featured them in The Iron Giant. Here are some other cute things I found throughout the film. The phone number on the business card given to Bob is 787-7476, which spells out superhero on a keypad. At the start of the movie, the woman being mugged has a Mr. Incredible's Pez dispenser. I just really like the idea that he's famous enough inside the film to have Pez dispensers, and that these are now a real life thing that you can buy, like how you can buy Woody and Buzz toys. This suit looks a lot like Mr. Incredible's old superhero costume. The church they get married in has an Incredibles logo in the stained glass window. Also, I like how they're incognito, but all their superhero friends have turned up in costume. In his nostalgia room, Mr. Incredible has a jar labeled Bullets That Bounced Off My Chest. In Syndrome's base, Elastigirl checks her butt in a mirror and sighs, an homage to Disney's 1953 film Peter Pan, in which Tinkerbell does the same. The newspaper is full of punny names. There are articles by I'm a Goody, Cole Rather, Norma Joe, Norma Person, Aim a Man, Stan Tarl. They also interview I Am Normal and have a weatherman, I Am Guessing, and most obscurely of all, IR Stoke. IR Stokes is a polarimetry instrument system, and no, I don't know what that means. Lastly, there's a big Easter egg missing from this film. People have spent many hours and made a lot of videos trying to find it, but Lee Unkrich has confirmed that The Incredibles is the only Pixar film that does not feature the Pizza Planet truck. Because Brad Bird was the first person to make a Pixar film from outside the internal team, he didn't know all the in-jokes, so that's why there's no Pizza Planet truck and no Luxo Ball. It does make an appearance during Jack Jack Attack, the short film that appeared on the DVD. That is everything. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and check out my Patreon. I'll be back next time with every single Easter egg in Cars. Peter out.